Are you ready to live your best life? Life is a constant change. If you're not changing or transforming, you may be stuck in the same comfortable situation. But do you know what does it take to change or to have a transformation? And what stage of the transformation are you currently in? If you're curious to find out, make sure you tune in to this episode. Hi, and welcome to Live Your Hero's Journeys podcast. I am your host, Pheh Sze. I created this podcast as a source of inspiration and practical wisdom on how to live to your full potential by embracing your unique self. In today's episode, we are going to talk about transformation and change. About 10 years ago, after I fulfilled one of my dreams, I felt that I was stuck where I am. For a long time, I felt that I was on top of the hill, but at the same time, I don't know where to go either. I'm sure many of you can relate to this scenario in life. So the first stage of any transformation is you feel there's a whisper of the call to adventure, and that's what I call them in the hero's journey, the whisper of the call. You feel stuck at your current situation, but at the same time, you don't know what to do about it either. You don't feel that there's a way out, and that's why you felt stuck. At this stage, what are the questions that will help you to propel you to the next stage is you can start asking yourself, what are the signals that will tell me that I need to change? I find that there's two ways people tend to change. They either change because of inspiration and vision that they have for the life that they want to live, or it's due to a crisis or due to the pain when you have enough of your life and you feel that you need to change. This reminds me of a story that I read in Zen in the Art of Archery. The professor wanted to learn the art of archery from the master in Japan. And after practicing and he failed miserably, the master told him that you need to learn the technique of breathing. When you draw the bow and release the bow, you control your breathing. And he asked the master, why didn't you tell me from the start? That would have saved me from all those misery of failing. And the master said, and I still remember this, have you heard of the phrase, when you're ready, the master will appear? Just imagine if you are sailing on a ship and it was sailing smoothly and I hand you a life jacket. What would you do and what would you say to me? Why would I need a life jacket? And you probably just toss it away. However, just imagine if the ship sinks and you're in the boat and I threw you a life jacket, you'll be like, oh my God, thank you so much, right? So until we are ready for a change, we don't tend to take the action. So ask yourself, what is a signal that will tell you that you need to change? We come then to the second stage of the transformation where we knew that we have to change. When you have enough, when you look at the scale and you're not happy to see where you are, or when you wake up in the morning and you don't feel motivated to go to work. But at the same time, you don't know where to start. Starting is always the hardest thing because we have an inertia, because we have our comfort zone. And in order for us to overcome those inertia, our desire have to be higher than the barriers that's stopping us from the change. So in this stage of the change, you can ask yourself, what are the barriers that's preventing me from taking the change, of taking the action? And what is the smallest step that I can take in this scenario. Then we move on to the next part of the transformation. When you're already taking action, congratulations, because you already overcame the first hurdle. But now you have the problem of consistency. And if you know that if you change anything or in any journey of transformation, it is not linear. And many people go through relapses before they can finally make the final leap. When you change habits that's been ingrained with you for many, many years, you first have to unlearn them before you learn something new. So don't be hard on yourself if you relapse to where you were. But remember, the 2 steps you take and then 1 step behind didn't mean that you start from ground zero again. You are already 1 step ahead of your transformation. So in this step, what you can do is to ask yourself, what has helped me or what has worked so far in this transformation? How can I do more of that? And remember to be kind and gentle and patient with yourself at this stage of transformation. If you're curious where exactly in the path of transformation, you can take my free transformation assessment tool on my website. It will tell you exactly what is the percentage of the transformation you're currently on, and the questions that you can ask yourself and the tips that will help you to go through the next stage of your transformation. So make sure you do that, and you can find that on my website, and I'll put them on the link below as well. Life is a constant change, and if we don't change and don't go out of our comfort zone, we will stay stagnant where we are. And as we grow, our viewpoint of the world will grow too. So just remember, whether we like it or not, life is constant change. So it's better that we take the proactive action than waiting for a crisis to happen before we take the final leap of faith. I hope you find this episode useful. Make sure you subscribe to the channel or follow the podcast. So until the next episode, live a life worth writing about.